little crash course on efficiency stuff, like how to calculate building efficiency. FOE has all this charted out for you. I play mostly mobile, just like you do, so I've just gotten used to figuring that out with a pocket calculator, which you can't see in this video obviously, but I do have a pocket calculator. So let's look at Aegean Couples Resort. 45 current, 15 previous, we'll just call it 30 goods, right? 40 forge points, it's a 50% chance of 40 forge points, but just for shits and giggles, let's say that it's a guaranteed chance of forge points at 40, correct? So I'm going to take 60 current goods. The footprint is 5 by 5, so 20 squares. I've got 60 goods. We'll just call them current, just for shits and giggles. 60 current goods divided by 20 squares is 3 goods per square, okay? 40 forge points divided by 20 squares is 2 forge points per square. And then we're going to come over here to a Feta farm and compare that. Feta farm is 6 squares, right? So I've got 30 goods divided by 6 is 5 goods per tile. And then 1.2 or whatever the FP would convert to on that per tile. Just a quick way. So, I mean, you look at this at a glance and you're like, wow, there's 60 goods plus 40 forge points. That's a lot. Feta only gives me 8 forge points and only 30 goods. But do the math on the size of the building. So this would apply to your Ketabo, those houses, Wolf, I think you already stored those. Vineyard is actually the next to go for me. So check this out, 25 forge points guaranteed, 90 goods guaranteed, yes. And then the attack stats is 42% red. Autumn Vineyard is 3.5 Feta, so let's look at a Feta. There's 8. So 8 times 3.5 is 28. It's 3 more forge points. 30 goods times 3.5 is actually 105 goods. Vineyard only gives me 90. And then guild goods is 20. So 20 times 3.5 is 70 guild goods. Vineyard gives me none. Obviously I get shroom and granny apple fragments from Vineyard, but I don't really need those. Let's look at attack. 42% attack on Vineyard, but I get 17 times 3.5 is 60%. 42, 60% attack, right? So when you're thinking about, do I get rid of Ketabo for this or that? You look at Ketabo and it's like, wow, that's a lot of goods, that's a lot of forge points. But when you factor in the size, start breaking down the size. I like Feta because it's population neutral. So I've obviously accumulated a lot of them. Airships are badass. They're actually way more efficient for forge points than Feta. Slight deduction in goods, and obviously no guild goods. But way more efficient on the forge points. They're also a huge population drain though. So I love Feta just for the fact that it's like you could have a whole city of Feta and be sitting pretty, honestly. So Tapir Trails is another good. It's a population consumer, but it's a good example of efficiency. So let's compare this Tapir Trail, 4 forge points, 8 goods, to the Aegean that we compared earlier. This is 2 tiles compared to the Aegean at 20. So that's 10 Tapir. So, and we could do the math pretty quick. So 10 of these would be 40 forge points, 80 goods, and then 70% red attack. And then on the Aegean, I'm getting 40 forge points, so that's even. 60 goods, we'll just pretend that it's all current. That would be 80 from the Tapir, and then 70% red attack, so almost double. you lose the red defense that comes with Aegean couples, but you gain the 300% boost kits from the Tapir that kind of supplements that the red defense that you would lose from replacing Aegean with the Tapir, theoretically, right? Does that make sense? So when you're going through your city, like, Tarot Canvas is really not that great. I literally only keep it for the supply production fragments. Same with Ori. Just for Rivals Quest and shit like that. Ships are decent, but pound for pound, they do not compare to a Theta or an airship. The only reason I have them is for population, honestly. So just think about that when you're comparing which building is better. Think about the size of it and break it down per square. You can check it on FOE, but FOE is not, the FOE helper is not always accurate on some of those, and it also doesn't take into consideration how you collect with Blue Galaxy or anything like that. So just something to think about.